Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Right, now for part 2 of my top 20 Wii games. I'm surprised that first part came out as long as it did. I tell you, I would have had a lot to say about them. So yeah, let's hopefully continue that feat then, shall we? And get on to this. And by the way, I totally forgot to show this. By the way, like when I was talking about Pandora's Tower there, I actually have this special edition, and I have a few of these to show off in this video. So I thought I'd just be like, here you go. See, this is my dedication to friggin' Pandora's Tower. So yeah, that's that. And let me get something else ready here. Right. So number 10. Number 10, we have Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Now, in my GameCube video, I talked about my sort of relationship with Melee, and that even though I do really like the game, my love for it kind of comes from how I've come to appreciate it through its competitive scene as opposed to the actual game. And the same sort of applies to this game, but nowhere near as much. For anybody who's in the Smash community, for fairly obvious reasons, this gets played nowhere near as much. But I did still have probably more fun with this than I did with Melee back when I was playing it at the time. And I will never forget the sort of feeling I had when this game got announced when Sonic got announced. You know, Solid Snake, pretty fucking important too, but Sonic, that was on a whole other level for me, you know. Like, a lot of people talk about all the reveals we got for Smash Bros. 4. I don't think any of them topped Sonic. You really can't, honestly. Like, I know, at the time, fucking Sonic was in Sonic 06. You know, this game came out just a couple years after that. I was still in the huff, but I still got so hyped about it, you know. It was so wonderful. I'll never forget that moment. And, you know, for that reason alone, it probably earns a spot on this list, you know. Obviously, it's top 10 because it's Smash Brothers, you know. It's kind of default to put it on your list. I mean, at least for me, because you'll notice that, spoiler alert, there's no Mario Kart on this list. Not just because I thought the Mario Kart on the Wii was kind of an iffy one, but because that series just holds nowhere near the same level of high regard to me as Smash Brothers. So yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, number 10. Right, number 9 we have now. I wasn't sure whether to pick this or the sequel, but I decided to go with the first game because I'm more familiar with it. No More Heroes. Yeah, this was a really hyped game when it came out. You know, it was kind of seen as the first, I guess, really high quality third party game for the Wii. You know, because at this sort of point in the Wii's lifespan, I think it was early 2008, it was getting a reputation for, while being this massive phenomenon and selling like crazy, was getting its reputation for shovelware, and there not really being that many good third-party games. Even though there was some, in my opinion, there was yet to be one that really blew everybody's socks off, and I think this was the first one that did that. You know, you went, and there's things in this game that I don't even at the time I didn't really quite understand. I didn't get at the time that Travis was supposed to be a fucking weeb, you know? I didn't get that. At the time I probably didn't even really know what a weeb was. A weeaboo and shit. But I feel like if I played this game again, I think I'd get a much bigger appreciation for them, you know? And again, the sequel is really good too. And I keep forgetting we have another one coming to the Switch, actually. Was it even No More Heroes 3, or was it just a game starring Travis Touchdown? I don't know. But whatever. I can't wait for that. That will be really good. And is it too much is it a bit of a stretch to say that this was Suda51's I don't remember the expression opus magnus? Am I even saying that right? Basically, his one game, his one-shot pony, if you will. Because, you know, you see his name on a lot of other stuff, Lollipop Chainsaw, which I thought was and a bunch of other games, Killer is Dead. I didn't get past the first hour of that game. But we all, when we hear Suda51, we're like, oh, the guy that made No More Heroes, I'll play that. That's pretty much what this game did to his reputation. I know there was Killer 7 before No More Heroes. I've not played that yet, though. I would like to, but not just now. But yeah, amazing combat, amazing characters and cutscenes, really, really great there. Yeah, just like an amazing game all around. If you've got a Wii, you've probably played this one. It was definitely a hit for the Wii. Even though in this country it got heavily censored, like there's no blood in this version. You know, that plus 16 might tell you, even though that's still a pretty high rating, we didn't have any blood. That really did suck, but didn't stop my enjoyment. So yeah, there you go. No more heroes. Right. Now, number 8, we have another game that I let's played. A very, very special one. Like, nope, I can't articulate it. A Boy and His Blob. I just remember, like, at the time, I was becoming sort of a way-forward fanboy, you know? Like, I remember I discovered, like, Shantae. At the time, the only game in the series was Risky's Revenge, and it was only on the 3DS at the time. The DS, no, not the 3DS, the DSi's own little, like, download store. That was the only place you could play fucking Shantae Risky's Revenge at the time. But I remember getting the game and really liking it, really liking the style, and therefore really just like becoming a WayForward fan, honestly. And WayForward have definitely made some games that I enjoy greatly, but nothing has ever really topped Shantae. But this is probably my favourite WayForward game. I hate the original on the NES. You know, Trouble in Blobbania. I've got it up here somewhere. Do I have instant access to it? No, I don't think I do. Fuck it. But basically, there was like a Boy and His Blob game for the NES, which apparently the main guy, I think it was Matt Bozon, is his name? Sorry if I've got that wrong, but he was basically a big fan of that game and opted to remake it. And they got it so right, you know, they got it right in a way that I just love. I think I'm pretty sure I just have a massive itch for that game with a sense of companionship, you know, kind of like Ico, you know, Ico and Yorda, seeing them like grow as a team throughout the course of their game, and it's the same with the Boy and His Blob, you know, they're just very adorable together. I'm not going to hammer home about the hug button, everybody does that, but I really love the adventure that they go on. The music and the atmosphere is so like memorable to me. I still listen to the music, I'm still like awed by how it looks. You can get this on PC and PS4 now. I bought it on both, I couldn't help it. But yeah, this is where it's at, and this is where I definitely fell in love with this game. A Boy and His Blob, fucking wonderful. I did a Let's Play of it, why don't you go watch it? Okay, next up we have, and I've got to get this, The Last Story. Yeah, I have the big box here again. Yeah, this was the second of the Operation Rainfall games that came out, and for a long time I was convinced of the three, this one was my favourite, but the other one on the list has kind of shot up a fair bit, whereas this has kind of just stayed where it's at, so it's been demoted down slightly. But hey, my 7th favourite Wii game, nothing to slouch at at all. But yeah, from like Hironobu Sakaguchi, maker of Final Fantasy, obviously, he opted to make a sort of his last game, which I don't think it was his last game, but that's why it's called The Last Story, but it was the same thing with Final Fantasy. You just don't believe that man, okay? That man's a liar. He's a big fucking liar, but he does make really good games, you know? I remember before this, obviously, one of the bigger games that he made was like Lost Odyssey for the 360. Why that game hasn't been like re-released and like, or remastered or whatever? Oh fuck, I haven't actually thought of that, but now I am thinking of it. Why the fuck hasn't Lost Odyssey been remastered? Fucking hell, like, I can't find a working copy of the game now because of that little like slipcase that the 4th disc was in. Remember, it came on 4 discs. It was a 360 game, they came on 4 discs. It was amazing. The disc that came in damaged all the discs, so it's really hard to find a disc 4 of Lost Odyssey in working condition. So there's no like real reliable way to play the game now. So they could remaster it, and it was so good. It was like, that's all it's gone through my mind now. But yeah, this was really good too. I love like I love pretty much everything about it. The story was really nice. The characters, the music was amazing. Kind of like its own take on RPG combat, which I felt like it worked at the time, and it even had online multiplayer, which I never once tried, but that's amazing to think that it did have that, wasn't it? But yeah, one of the definitely one of the big last hurrahs for the Wii in its dying years, you know. That and Pandora's Tower for definite. But yeah, this was a good shit. Just looking at the artwork and all that, it's making me so nostalgic. It's crazy that it's making me nostalgic. This is 2011, this game. Or was it early 2012? I don't know. But it was a good time. It was a very good time. So, last story, number 7. Okay. Stick that there. Right. And for number 6, one of my favourite franchises of all time, for sure. And my favourite in said franchise, for sure. Even though I feel like most fans of this franchise would probably hate me for saying that, but fuck it. House of the Dead Overkill. We just got a new House of the Dead game there announced, eh? And it looks like it's going to be traditional, like fucking campy and self-aware and shit. Whereas this one was just a really interesting take on the House of the Dead formula. It wasn't like purposely bad with its voice acting and just like weird way it's styled together, which definitely works, but they decided to go on a whole all B-movie on it, and they succeeded so well. Okay, to this day, I will say that House of the Dead Overkill is the funniest game I've ever played. Okay, maybe if I think about it really hard, I'll think of something that I've played in the past few years that overtakes that, but I can't. Okay, this is the funniest game I've ever played. I love the two characters, G and Isaac Washington. They play off each other so hilariously. I adore it to death. We got a PS3 HD re-release of this game with 2 new levels, but those 2 new levels weren't that good. I don't think. You actually played as like additional characters and it added some more to the story, which I appreciated. But you're not really there to get like more context in the story. You're there to fucking laugh at it and show it to your pals when they come round because it's so hilarious. And yeah, because I mean, as a House of the Dead game, it's actually somewhat weak. I don't know, the gunplay is nowhere near as satisfying, mainly because it's so easy. Like, because you can get like unlimited ammo with like Uzis and shotguns and shit. Whenever I play the game, I always try to like stick to the handguns, you know, just to make it feel more traditional. Like, I never really consider using the Uzis or what have you, but definitely an extremely memorable game for the Wii. It's a shame it's kind of stopped there, you know, because I remember it was this and Mad World. Sega put both those games kind of out at the same time, and it really ushered in a whole sort of like mature rated circle for Wii owners, you know. If you wanted to like games with blood and shit, Sega had your back basically. So yeah, House of the Dead Overkill, love to death. Number 6. So here we are in the top 5, and just like my GameCube list, although it's not number 1, I'm kind of bullshitting out on here. Zelda, basically. Now, if I was to give this all to Twilight Princess, I feel like it would be a lot higher on this list. I remember picking this up at launch, putting so many hours into it. It was phenomenal. But I said in my GameCube video that I kind of see this as, well, a GameCube game now, you know? That's just how my mind works at this point. So I feel like it's cheating talking about this, so I'm going to give it solely to what can definitely be called the Wii's definitive Zelda game, Skyward Sword. And it really sucks, because I really do like this game. It's got problems. I know it's got problems, but it's never gotten out of, like, its punching bag status. Now, some of you may be familiar with the Zelda cycle. You know, the cycle where Zelda games come out, everybody hates them, but then the next game comes out and people will look back on games prior and say, oh, actually, they were really good. Wind Waker is the prime example of that. But this game's never gotten out of the Zelda cycle, and what kind of annoys me more is that games like A Link Between Worlds, and even like Breath of the Wild, as much as I like those games, they never even went into the fucking Zelda cycle. They were beloved instantly, whereas this game's always been sort of looked down on. Again, it definitely has its fans, you know, I'm not saying that everybody hates it, but it's definitely the most, like, looked down upon Zelda game in the series. But fuck me, do I disagree. The motion controls work perfectly. I don't give a fuck, they work perfectly for me. The art style's bra, and all the other, like, great nuances you get from the production of a Zelda game are just all present there. It's Zelda, you know, it's fucking Zelda. What more do you need than that, you know? Well, maybe something that's not so linear, but I don't care, I like this game, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is number 5. There, okay. And number 4 is now... I can't explain, guys, how much this game like meant to me when I played it back in 2010, because I remember finishing it and being like, and just like almost being in tears, honestly, because it was just like, oh my god, I just played a good 3D Sonic game, you know? It's like, holy fuck, yeah, Sonic Colors, with a U. Oh, fuck me. And Sonic had like a decent run on the Wii. In fact, I meant to, hold on, let's see if I remember to put in the jump cut. I probably won't, because there was a few games I kind of want to bring to your attention, so to speak. You better remember to put this jump cut in, Donald. It's taking you a while to find these games. Oh, here we go. Just to talk a wee bit about like Sonic's run on the Wii, you know, this right here, this was pretty good, you know, like obviously the HD version is more relevant and the one that's remembered mostly, but this was, you know, this was like kind of at the start of when Sega started doing like an alternate version to their main series games, because Sonic Colors had a alternate version, Sonic Generations had one, but this one was honestly, like, it was really good, okay? Not as good as the HD one, but still playable, and I kind of respect it for that. And then there's the game that everybody... I remember saying once that I liked this game, and everybody gave me shit on it. I had like this guy tweet at me for like 2 weeks straight about... And everything I would tweet, he would just say, you say that, but you like Sonic and the Secret Rings. He was like that. Yeah, Sonic and the Secret Rings. I like this game, okay? I don't even like it in a sort of ironic sense that, you know, like I acknowledge it's bad, kind of like a game like Sonic R Son. I legitimately think it's good. I played through it again not long ago, just to make sure that I wasn't crazy, because everybody thought I was crazy. It's not that bad, okay? Miles, when people tell me that this game is not as good as Sonic and the Black Knight, which I, quite frankly, consider the second worst Sonic game behind Sonic 06, I'm just like, what? Okay, so, yeah. That's all the comments are going to be about this, aren't they? They are, yeah. Everybody's going to talk about... Nobody's going to talk about, oh, I can't believe that was number 1. It's like, oh, I'm glad you talked about that game, McDonald. It's so underrated. It's all going to be like, how can you like Sonic and the Secret Rings? Even though it's not even on the top 20. Because number 4 is going to Sonic Colors. But yeah. One complaint that gets thrown around a lot like this, and I'm hearing it more and more, mainly because we're kind of in like a bad era for Sonic right now, with Lost World and then Forces not really being as good, is that this game was, you know, because you know how Sonic fans are, you know, they'll like latch onto a reason why to hate a Sonic game and like stick with it. The reason I'm getting with this one is because a lot of it is 2D, and it's true, a lot of it is 2D, but a decent amount of it is 3D, at least in my opinion, and I don't see how that makes it bad, you know? And it stemmed games like Generations, well, I say games like Generations, it stemmed Generations. So, yeah, it's Sonic Colors, again, the main memory I have with this is finishing it, listening to the end credits song, which was like Speak With Your Heart. It's a catchy song, by the way, and I just remember being so happy that it really did feel like Sonic was back. And it definitely felt like that when Generations came out. Then it kind of like went away again when Lost World, and then a while after that Forces, but whatever. Sonic Colors, number 4. Abso-fucking-lutely. Alright, now we're down to the last 3 here, and number 3 is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles. I have the actual game here. This was the first and definitely by far the most important of the Operation Rainfall trilogy. Yeah, I was following this game so closely. Even at the time when I started following it in Operation Rainfall, it was after the point that we had already like been confirmed to be getting this, you know, in Europe. And I'm just going to put this down right here because I'm probably going to have the most to say about this game and the memories it holds. Because I just remember when the game came out and it was so critically acclaimed. You have no idea. Everybody loved this game. I don't think it was like a massive seller or whatever, but it was definitely like especially for being a Wii game that's so at the end of its lifespan, everybody fucking was like playing it and loving it. And I just remember when it came out, Nintendo was still stubborn about bringing it out in America, but it felt like other regions of Nintendo were making fun of Nintendo of America, because I remember Nintendo of Australia released Xenoblade. Australia gets fuck all. I even remember Nintendo of South Africa releasing Xenoblade Chronicles. Did you know there was a Nintendo of South Africa? Of course you fucking didn't. But they released Xenoblade Chronicles, and a bunch of other regions did as well, to the point that Nintendo was just so embarrassed, so like, fuck it, that they released it. And Xenoblade is now this like genuine Nintendo franchise. It's represented in Smash Brothers. It's got all this like massive following. I'm still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's a long game. It's a long game. Not actually touched it in a while. Should really get to that. But yeah. Regardless, even with the amount that I have played of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I kind of now hold the opinion that that first game is pretty untouchable. It is. That's the everything about that RPG was wonderful. So like modern. Like everything about it was so streamlined. So just really, really fun to play. Wonderful characters, amazing music. You know, just yeah, it was just an amazing game. And Operation Rainfall, the trilogy. I know Operation Rainfall, like I never interacted with them, and I see them like make a tweet on Twitter, but it doesn't really garner much attention anymore. But they brought it was a good time, you know, fighting for those 3 games. I enjoyed it. And I just want to show off right here. I've definitely shown these off in videos before, but I want to show you some memorabilia, I guess you could call it, because some of you, I just remember when Operation Rainfall was a thing, one other really good thing Nintendo of Europe did was they just took the concept and milked it to fuck. They grouped those 3 games together, Xenoblade Chronicles, The Last Story, and Pandora's Tower, as if they were some sort of like official trilogy. And if you like registered with Club Nintendo at the time, all 3 of those games, you would get sent a few goodies, including this right here, which is, when you open this up, it's never in place because they don't stay in place. Oh shit, it did. This is a coin set for all 3 games. They're in plastic here, but I don't know if you can see those right, but yeah, there's Pandora's Tower, The Last Story, and Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, that is a wonderful thing to have for sure. And I just like forced that shut, and yeah, it all came out. Fucking hell. Okay, and one other thing, and this wasn't with Club Nintendo. In fact, I actually bought Pandora's Tower a second time because I just saw it there in HMV at the time, and thought, oh fuck, I need to buy this again to get this, which is a friggin' like just cardboard box that you would get with your purchase of Pandora's Tower, which was to put your Operation Rainfall games in, you know? Yeah, this is where they go, and you got like a little free art book as well. And yeah, mostly Pandora's Tower stuff, but with the other 2 games as well. And that's just awesome. It really is a trilogy. It really is the Operation Rainfall trilogy. It always will be to me. So yeah, that just really like cements an awesome period for the Wii, right at the very end of its lifespan too. So yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So Xenoblade Chronicles is definitely number 3. Fuck me, how long is this video? Okay, the last two I should say, ones on this list, I probably have like the least amount to say really, because, well, they're all one's very personal and one's very predictable. But number 2 on the Wii, I'm even surprising myself a wee bit that I'm putting this high. Knight's Journey of Dreams. I'm a Knights fanboy. I'm the biggest Knights fanboy, okay? I'm gonna put this high, of course I fucking am. And yeah, there's a big divide in the Knights fan base, as small as it is really, that either loves or hates this game. There was a time in my life where I thought this was better than the original. I don't think I think that anymore, but I don't think there's this big gap either. It's definitely got like a sort of Sonic Team charm, which to a lot of people probably would send them flying. You know, like there's lots of voice acting, there's lots of like funny little gimmicks throughout the game, but those are some of the reasons that I like it, and probably some of the reasons why, despite all their shortcomings, I'll still be a big follower of Sonic Team, you know? Really, I feel the Knights' passion here, okay? I love Knights so much, and what I love about it is represented in this game, okay? I feel about this a lot of the ways I feel about some of like my earlier memories playing like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. It just has that impression on me. I love the music, I love the set pieces within the levels. It's just massively nostalgic, you know? Even if it's a 2007 game. And you can get this game stupidly cheap, okay? Like, stupidly cheap. I think they made, like, loads of copies and couldn't sell them. You can get it for, like, a $5 or something on Amazon, at least the last time I looked. But this is my original copy from 2007. Never traded it in, always kept it close. It's just one of my... I love it. I love Knights, okay? I love Knights. And it's... Is it too much to ask that we get, like, a re-release of this? You've re-released Knights, the original, a few times, Sega. Is it because of the bad reputation you don't want to re-release this one? Go on. I want to play this fucking game with an analog stick that isn't octagonal. You can't play Knights with an octagonal analog stick. And can you play this game with its motion controls? Those are garbage. But it didn't stop me from loving the game, so yeah. Knights Journey of Dreams is number 2 with absolutely no shame. Okay. And, okay. Remember when I did my Dreamcast Top 20? And, what was it? I think I personally left out Shenmue. Because it's so predictable. It's like, of course Shenmue's number 1, okay? Ugh, why did I watch this video? Thumbs down, unsubscribe. That's what some of you did. You did, okay? And it's the exact same fucking thing here. But when I think about my favourite Wii game, I can't fucking deny it. I really can't. Super Mario Galaxy. I think I played this game like 5 or 6 times to 100% when it first came out. It was just everything I ever wanted, or I'd wanted up to that point, in like a 3D platformer. Because it was around the time of like the last generation, 2008, 2007. Sure, we were getting like Ratchet and Clank. I think we already had Ratchet. In fact, yeah, this and Ratchet and Clank kind of came out around the same time. But even then, Ratchet and Clank was this series that I was very, like, devoted to, and Mario was just this guy that's always there if you're a gamer, so I didn't expect to love this more than Ratchet and Clank, but I did. This game is near perfection for me. Really is just so... It really is my favourite Wii game. It can't go to anything else other than this. Even Super Mario Galaxy 2. I didn't like Super Mario Galaxy... Well, okay, to say I didn't like Super Mario Galaxy 2 is extreme exaggeration. But compared to my love for this, Super Mario 2 was probably a disappointment, even though it probably was still a really good game for me as well, that I played a good few times. And can I just rant about something real quick, okay? When Super Mario Odyssey was announced, Nintendo made this like big deal comparing it to Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, saying it was this like, the levels were going to be like more open and stuff compared to the more linear games that we've had in the last few years, like Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, which are definitely justified to be there, Super Mario Galaxy 2, which, okay, it was fairly linear, and this game. I disagree, okay? I don't think this game belongs in the same category as like 3D Land, 3D World. It's much closer to the likes of Sunshine and 64 in terms of its openness. It's got a proper hub world. It's got levels that you do get to like walk around and explore a bit, even if there is really only like one objective necessarily to get, you can still like find little hidden secrets, okay? It's not like you're not going in a straight line for most of it, is basically what I'm trying to say here. And I don't know, when I hear people now say that this is in the... It's like we've got like a linear pile of Mario games and a non-linear pile of Mario games. When people put this in the linear pile, I get annoyed. I don't know. I just do. Super Mario Galaxy 2, yeah, probably. But not this one. Don't you fucking dare. Right, there's probably a lot more I could say about it. But fuck it. I'll put Mr. Gay down and say that is my top 20 Wii games. My favourite Nintendo console, not going to back down from that. Just such wonderful shit on there. Like there's like loads of like honorable mentions that I wanted to include. Fucking Super Paper Mario, I love that game. GoldenEye, Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz. I like that one. I like that one too. Okay, and yeah, just so many others. It was Muramasa for fucking picking 20 was kind of hard. It was. So whatever. Let's end that there. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you after. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.